we had moved that intentionally just for that reason. If you need to move it, Alex, move it. Dan, are you supposed to sit? Abby, what's the magic number?
For some reason, Carlos made
That's funny.
We're gonna have to evaluate the secretaries tomorrow. Nope. Practice. Robert. Yeah, I got it. Make sure I'm behind my
Hello.
Make
Welcome to the commencement ceremony for the Northwest High School class of 2021. I am Mr. Buechler, principal. I would like to remind everyone that face masks and social distancing are recommended for all of our visitors in the grandstand and on the fences. To get things started, I would like to invite our senior military recruits to the stage to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. This year we have 8 students joining the military: the Air Force, Army, Army National Guard, Marines, and the Navy. Immediately following this, we will have our senior choir members share the national anthem with us. So please stand as they come forward. We will use the flag on the stage. Senior military recruits, please come to the stage. Flags to your right.
I pledge allegiance
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next up, I would like to invite our senior choir members. They will lead us in the Star-Spangled Banner. Thank you, choir members and Mr. Snell. We all know this has been a very unique year and a half for this class. These students have spent 4 trimesters completing their high school careers dealing with the pandemic. That's 25% of their high school career under a pandemic, and yet they have succeeded. They have learned many valuable lessons with this experience that will help guide them as they move through their next stages of life. They have learned how to deal with adversity and change. They have demonstrated resilience and perseverance. They have learned about compassion and grace. They have learned that even when things are difficult or tough, you can still be successful. They were able to find joy and positivity to complete their high school careers. With all that they have had to encounter, they made it. Today, we celebrate them, our class of 2021. At this time, I'd like to thank all of you, parents, grandparents, friends, and families, for your ongoing support for our graduating seniors. I would like to thank our administration, our teachers, secretaries, maintenance, custodians, and all of our support staff for your guidance and leadership in helping our seniors get to this point. All of you are critical in helping these students reach this level of success, and it was more important this year than ever. Thank you. Some other thank yous of key people that helped make this evening happen. Mr. Chris Galloway, our athletic director, Mrs. Amanda Anspaugh, assistant principal, and Mr. Phil Stikatowicz, assistant principal. Thank you. I'd like to thank our board members, Mr. Brad Waite, Mr. Nick Rush, Mr. Dan Griswold, Mr. Bob Sales, Ms. Katie Pitchford, Ms. Allison Cooper, and Ms. Libby Conant-Lowndes. Thank you. Special thank you to our superintendent, Mr. Bontrager, for his support and guidance in helping us get here and supporting us through this difficult year. Thank you, Mr. Bontrager. Special thanks to Humble Nursery for our flowers, K105.3 for their pre-graduation airtime, and JTV for providing our live stream for our community and family members that could not be with us tonight. I also want to point out there's a special designated area for parents of graduates only to take a close-up photo of your graduate as they exit the stage. We ask that you only enter the area from the north side of the field and are only there while your graduate is heading back to their seat. Please honor this so all parents have an opportunity to capture this special moment. Again, parents only. I know everybody would like to come down, but please just help us with that. Tonight, I'd like to introduce our first student speaker to do a welcome. She is from our Senior Storm, formerly known as our student government. I'd like to welcome Megan Swartz to the podium.
Welcome, family and friends of the class of 2021. Well, we made it. Within this celebration of us students, we also would like to take the time to thank our teachers, parents, siblings, and all who have helped us along the way. COVID-19 has impacted everyone throughout this year. With all of your help, we have felt supported, heard, and prioritized. As students, we couldn't be more grateful for the endless opportunities and encouragement that you have provided. As you watch your student walk across this stage, reflect on the ways that you have helped them reach these goals and make this happen. Because without all of you, we couldn't have done this. Now, for my fellow seniors. It's crazy to think that this could be our last time gathering, all 205 of us, together in celebration. The years we have spent together working towards our futures will forever be memorable. The ways that we have grown, learned, and bonded through the struggles and triumphs of high school will eternally connect us in irreplaceable ways. With these bonds I have made and the love I have shared, I can confidently say goodbye to Northwest High School with a heart full of love and a brain full of knowledge. Thank you all so much for the part you have played in these beautiful years. And last but certainly not least, Class of 2021 rules! Thank you.
We now have 7 students that we want to recognize tonight for their academic achievement while at Northwest High School. These 7 students combined for 458 credits. Of those 458 credits, there were 447 A's, 9 A minuses, 1 B, 1 B plus. We have 5 valedictorians and 2 salutatorians this year. These 7 students will be on stage together. 6 of them will share a few words with you and their classmates.
Our first student is one of our salutatorians with a cumulative GPA of 3.95. She's compiled 64 credits with only 1 in the B category. Our first salutatorian is Miss Taylor Grindle. Our second salutatorian also has a cumulative GPA of 3.95. She's compiled 63 credits and also only has 1 grade in the B category. Please welcome Miss Katura Puste. All 5 of our valedictorians have a perfect 4.0. Our valedictorians are Ashley Black, Maggie Collier, Ethan Hornstra, Raylan McMichael, and Dawson White. I think so.
Hello everyone, my name is Taylor Grindle, and I've been a part of the high school's yearbook staff for the past 4 years, and my senior year was especially meaningful because I was granted the opportunity to write the opening and the closing for the yearbook. And so the opening and the closing is kind of the paragraphs at the beginning and the end of the book that kind of explain how the theme ties into our school personally. So this year's theme is What's Next? And so that'll make a little more sense as I read the opening and the closing, but when I was granted the opportunity to speak tonight, I couldn't think of a more perfect piece than to say the opening and the closing. It just truly embodies how the year has gone for me and my fellow classmates. And so before I begin, I just want to give a quick shout out to my advisor, Miss Marnie Hade, and the 6 other yearbook girls who helped craft up What's Next. So. Let's face it, 2020 has made history in a way that nobody could have seen coming. When the COVID-19 pandemic shut down schools in Michigan in the spring of 2020, students and staff spent time away from each other during what became a record-long 5-month break. New normals began to take place as everyone prepared to step foot back into the world as state-mandated restrictions began to lift. What was, "I like your outfit," quickly turned to, "I like your mask." Heartfelt hugs shared between friends were downsized to a simple elbow tap. The world now gawked at the sight of television shows filmed in years previous, all of the actors standing within the newly established 6-foot limit. It felt as though the world couldn't get any more abnormal when the 2021 school year began on August 27th, and the face-to-face students would spend the year with socially distanced desks, traditions stripped from homecoming week, and a slew of masks covering the face of every single student and faculty member. Despite it being what some believe to be the worst year ever, Mountie Nation continued to keep heads high. The Marching Mounties titled their 2020 show Resilient, which is defined as the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. This phrase perfectly embodies acts happening every day in the community to overcome the difficulties of the pandemic. The Storm leadership team organized a socially distanced district-wide food truck rally during the week of homecoming. Face-to-face students were integrated with MVP students through the use of sites such as Zoom and Google Meet. Large red NW symbols on black masks were displayed proudly in the halls. While it may seem as though every obstacle came our way, we did not back down in the fight to continue our education in the midst of a global pandemic. Instead, we took on every day with a positive mindset, asking the world, what's next? We asked the world what next ahead in store for us as we endured a school year full of such dramatic changes. And this question only served to prove just how strong the Mountie Nation was. What came next was adaptation. The constant switch between all virtual learning and hybrid learning stressed out schools across the country. The delay for winter sports crammed the seasons into a short 2-month stretch. Jackson County reached the top of the nation's list for most COVID-populated city. It seemed as though 2021 would somehow surpass 2020 as the seemingly worst year ever. What came next was togetherness when COVID cases dropped and restrictions began to lift in the spring. As warm weather arrived and vaccines were administered all across the state, MHSAA no longer required masks at outdoor sporting events. It felt as though life was beginning again for many after being sheltered from the outside world for over 12 months. What came next was change. What came next was rejoicing. What came next was fear. But what never came next was failure. Instead, Northwest chose success. We continued to celebrate community. We kept striving in an educational setting. We still smiled despite 3 trimesters covered in masks. Students who did not have previous access to technology in their homes were administered school-issued Chromebooks to use throughout the year. Several athletic teams made tremendous leaps throughout their season, including the boys golf team taking home the first conference title in school history, and the varsity softball teams climbed to being the best in the state. Despite the thought that the pandemic would ruin the year, life inside 4200 Van Horn Road flourished. Mountie staff and students exemplified strength amidst the most challenging circumstances. As the students and staff of Northwest High School advance into the future, we no longer ask, what's next? But instead, we challenge the world by confidently saying, bring it on. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Katura Pouste, and not all of you know me, and that's alright. I'm new to the Northwest community, and as you know, these last 2 years have been pretty wacky. It was challenging to make connections with the COVID restrictions, yet these last 2 years have meant the most to me. When I first transferred from Onsted, I was scared that I would get lost in the crowd, but that was not the case. Immediately, I found where I belonged, even if a concerning amount of people asked me if I was a foreign exchange student. In some ways, it feels like it. The transition was completely foreign to me. At times it felt like I was living separate lives, one here and one at Onsted. While I was moving forward, so was everyone else, but without me. Then of course, COVID hit. We got caught up in finding some sort of normality that we forgot to embrace our present selves. Rather than hoping for a memorable senior year, we had to fight just for the normal things. But look at us now. We made it. But it feels like the year just started. I already miss Calc with Mr. Klinger, as crazy as that sounds. And I wish I could have one more band concert. But it's all over now. And so many things for everyone are over now. And that all changes after today. Everything we have ever done in the last 13 years adds up to this moment. We get to step forward onto something bigger and better. And I wish I could say something cheesy like, guys, we lived through a pandemic. It can't get much worse. But the truth is, I have no idea what will be thrown at us next. Or maybe I should say something like, expect the unexpected. But the trials and tribulations from all 4 years prove how insane things can actually be. All cliches aside, this year sucked. And it is what it is. But how many classes get to say they graduated in the middle of a global pandemic? How many get to say that they earned their diploma partially from home? We all overcame so much, and I wish things were different, but they won't be. And all we can do, as Taylor said, is ask what's next.
Hello, my name is Ashley Black, and it is such an honor to be standing here with all of you as new 2021 Northwest graduates. I want to say thank you to all the students, staff, and family members that have helped all of us get through these past 13 years. I remember being in preschool and thinking how I couldn't wait to grow up and be a senior, but I didn't know what came with it. I didn't think of the long nights staying up and studying, or getting up early to get assignments done if I got off late from work the night before. I didn't know how exciting getting my license, going to sports games, and applying for my first job would be. I didn't know the future then, and I still don't now, but I appreciate everything that has happened to me while in school. Our class has been through so much that we never thought would happen. For example, the 4th grade food poisoning outbreak, everyone passing out on DC trip in 8th grade, and having the end of our junior year and all of our senior year restricted in almost every way possible. We weren't given a handbook that said how our lives will play out. We must be strong and adapt to what is thrown at us because we never know what is next. Reality is that some of us won't get that job that we want, or go to that school that we always dreamed of, or get that promotion that we put so much work into. But some of us will be able to become CEOs of a company we've always looked up to. There's good and bad surprises, and that's what makes life interesting. So make the most out of both. I wanted a perfect ending. Now I've learned the hard way that some poems don't rhyme, and some stories don't have a clear beginning, middle, and end. Life is about not knowing, having to change, taking the moment and making the best of it without knowing what's going to happen next. Gilda Redner. Make the most of the present because the past is gone and the future is not guaranteed. Live now and realize there is no such thing as perfect or normal. There have been so many lasts this year, but graduation isn't the end all. We start our new and surprise-filled lives today, whether that be beginning a career in the workforce, going to a trade school, or heading off to college to get a degree. We are the big kids now that we always wanted to be. We have dreamed about this day forever, and it is finally here. Everything is about to change. Please embrace it. Thank you, Northwest and the class of 2021.
My name is Ethan Hornstra, and I would like to thank the faculty that have put this event together. Mr. Buechler, Mrs. Anspaugh, Mr. Stickatowitz, and the Honor Guard all deserve our highest respect. I stand here today as one of the valedictorians of the class of 2021, but more importantly, I stand here as a student of Mountie Nation. This past year has been one of the most challenging years in both our academic and personal lifetimes. From canceled events to those annoying 7:30 a.m. Zoom calls that we all wish would end so we could go back to sleep, our year has been like no other. However, we have gathered here today, friends and family, to celebrate our graduation in the midst of a pandemic. As I prepared my speech for the class of 2021, I wanted to leave a message that would resonate with all of you. A message that is not cliche mantras that you typically hear at graduation. I have come to realize that changing the world or becoming the next Elon Musk is not what is important in life, though I know some of you have that potential. What matters in life are the little things. Whether you're going into the workforce or continuing your education at college, don't forget the little things. Time with friends, Friday night lights, and yes, even homework are all things I miss as I speak with you here today, especially since I spent the majority of my high school prioritizing grades and performance over making memories. Oftentimes, during celebrations like these, we set our standards so high that we fail to miss what we have accomplished. Our graduation should be focused on a reflection of the past and not anticipation for the future. I know we're all excited to take our next step in life, but times like these don't come fast enough and always seem to leave so suddenly. So as I wrap up my speech, I hope that you, the class of 2021, remember the little things, because the little things matter. I wish you the best on your future endeavors, and I hope that you never have to join another Zoom call again. Thank you, and may God be with you.
Hello. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Raylan McMichael. I would first like to start by congratulating my class for everything we've accomplished. I'll applaud to that. Instead of focusing on what has happened to us, I would like to talk about everything that got us through this year. We haven't had the best of luck, as Ashley said, from the Washington, D.C. trip where an entire bus got sick. Some people had to be taken to the hospital, and missing almost an entire trimester's worth of school our junior year to COVID-19. I still remember sitting a few rows in front of the kids that were puking on the bus, mortified and worried about what was going to happen to them. And here I am. I remember the unanimous grief everyone felt when our junior prom had gotten canceled, as well as the rest of the school year. And here we are. While we can look back upon these events and smile, or at the very least say we learned something from them, it wasn't always so. I wish I could say that the things we've gone through will just magically turn into life lessons that teach us everything we need to know. But what makes our class different from the rest is not what we've gone through, but our resilience in doing so. This is what we've learned. After this ceremony tonight, for lack of a better phrase, a lot of us will never see each other again. This celebration presents itself to be extremely difficult while simultaneously exciting. But if there's anything I know to be true, it's that we will all be okay because of our collective and individual strength. To my fellow graduates, I ask you to recall those feelings when we were presented with conflict. Know that you are here because of your determination to do so. Know that you are here because of your ability to learn from adversity. Know that you are here. Thank you.
If any of you have ever been around me in the last 4 years, you've most likely heard me say, "Oh, I'm just going to lose my 4-point on purpose so I don't have to give a speech at graduation." As you can see, that obviously didn't go as planned. I had always stuck to a goal of all A's, but I never made the commitment to speak in front of an endless crowd with every pair of eyes turned towards me. Even up until last week, I had refrained from writing the speech and tried to find any excuse I could to avoid this, but I felt all of my hard work would go to waste if I simply settled for only the label of valedictorian. Things don't always go the way you believe you may want them, but uncomfortable times like this given instance will result in guaranteed growth. I recently heard a quote from Denzel Washington that I couldn't seem to ignore. He said, "Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship." One more time, ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Throughout my high school experience, and most likely yours, unwanted events and adversity has inevitably transpired. Instinctively, we want to turn away and simply wish all the bad away. You may take this route, but your unconsciously yearned progress and goals won't be achieved. Don't settle for the easy path. Push yourself to failure, but never give up. Getting through that rigorous test, overtime loss, or scary presentation will push you in the right direction. Accumulating lessons and core values will beyond a doubt benefit you. Even if the result isn't what you were aiming for, utilize it as a lesson for future occurrences. Not only just by getting by, but victoriously emerging from the dark will result in the progress you are meant to achieve. Sometimes you hear sayings or phrases and are suddenly spontaneously able to realize something about yourself that you never even thought of. Recently, I've been brought to light about the word consistency. I couldn't give you this speech without just one basketball reference, so here you go. A few years ago, my cousin was trying to help me with my basketball shot form. If you've ever heard the name Lonzo Ball, you've probably heard the negative descriptions about the way he shoots. My cousin told me it doesn't matter what his shot looks like. He's made it this far because he's consistent. At the time, I'd only applied this idea to basketball, but now a clear, bigger picture came to fruition. Make a commitment, set a goal, explicitly identify what it is you want to accomplish. Resist conforming to those around you and stay true to your own standards because it may result in selling yourself short. Find something that works for you, not something that everyone else deems acceptable. You may go off track or even completely flip your goal backwards, but whatever you commit to, stay consistent. As we leave here today, don't settle for stopping here. Go get what you want. Go after whatever you're seeking. Want to run into obstacles, want to endure hard times. Through hard work, anything is possible, but it takes strength and the knowledge of future benefits to continue through the struggles. I'll leave you with this. Without commitment, you'll never start, but more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. Go start your finish, class of 2021. Thank you.
Very proud of those guys. For those of you that don't know, when you stand up here and speak, there's a delay. And so they came out and practiced today, and they nailed it. So great job, guys. Seniors choose their guest speaker every year for graduation. There are many people that are recommended, talked about, and we always talk about someone that has had a huge impact on them while they're in school, moving towards graduation. This year is no different. Our commencement speaker this year is Mrs. Tiffany Adema. This year marks the 10th year Mrs. Adema has been teaching English at Northwest. Though she's not originally from Michigan, she moved here to attend Spring Arbor University, where she met her husband, Paul. They have a son, Rudy, and together can often be found at Northwest events supporting students. Mrs. Adema loves what she does and feels it is a great privilege to be teaching the next generation. Please help me welcome Mrs. Tiffany Adema.
Thank you, Mr. Buechler. Good evening. Seniors, I am very proud of all of you, and it is an honor to be speaking here tonight. Some of you may not know this, but I grew up in a small town in Midwest Ohio, a town filled with cornfields, pig farms, and not much else. In the summer, my parents had one main rule. If the sun was out, the TV was not to be on. And I swear it only rained 2 times my entire childhood, because it sure seemed like the sun was always out and our TV was never on. Given this rule, I, along with my siblings, often did what any 90s kid would do. We hopped on our bikes and rode into town to hit up the Bookmobile. You heard me correctly, Bookmobile, a library on wheels. Now I know what you're thinking. Mrs. Adema, that sounds so cool, and you would be correct. It was awesome. I would scour this little library for all the best books and then ride home and sit outside reading for hours. I read all kinds of stories where characters conquered their fears, overcame great adversity, had exciting adventures, and made a few friends along the way. I used to long for such a life like the ones I read about, and though I was never able to travel down a yellow brick road or receive my acceptance letter to Hogwarts, I did realize that I was living and writing in front of me all along. As I think back to everything that has happened this past year, I have to say you all have written quite the story yourselves. I've had a front row seat as you stepped into the role of author, the author of your own life story. There may be times that you have felt that your story has been written for you, but I'm here to tell you, it hasn't. You have written a story of perseverance and adaptability. I'm sure you have your own running list of obstacles that you have faced this year, but let me go ahead and verbalize some of that list for you. Virtual learning, face-to-face learning, different schedules, masks, 6 feet apart, no Zooms, yes Zooms, don't forget to unmute yourself, delayed seasons, postponed games, canceled events, COVID. It is more than okay to feel sad, upset, or even angry that these challenges have made their way into your story. But remember, these challenges do not define who you are, but how you responded does. And I have watched you respond by not giving up, by pushing forward, by adapting to the situations that have come your way. It hasn't been easy for anyone, but you did it. You wouldn't be sitting here today if you hadn't. Though we may wish for a life free of challenges, that just isn't going to be the case. But your well is deep. You proved this year alone that you can put one foot in front of the other and press through to a brighter future, coming out the other side stronger than you were when you began the journey. You have also written a story of kindness and relationships. Here at Northwest, we often say relationships matter, and this year that has been true 10 times over. The people around you today have shown you kindness and grace. They have shown you support and stood on the sidelines of your life to cheer you on, to help you succeed. Hold on to these kinds of people, because as your story continues, you will find that you still need cheerleaders. You will still need someone to show you tough love, to tell you you can do it, to remind you that you matter. Sorry. And as much as you have needed the people around you here today, we have needed you as well. I have seen you write and been on the receiving end of many notes and acts of kindness and gratitude. I personally remember one day being on a Zoom call with a senior class and being completely flustered. Right then, a student sent me a quick message that said, "Mrs. Adema, you got this." A small thing that meant a lot to me and got me through the rest of class. And this is just one example of many where I've seen you all write a story of kindness. Remember what that feels like and continue to do those small acts of kindness as you move through life. Continue to hold on to the relationships that build you up and make you a better person. Your life, your story will be better for it. You have written a story of growth. I watched you make decisions about your future, applying for college, joining the military, getting jobs. And though these things are important and exciting steps toward your future, the growth does not just come from these particular decisions. The growth comes from finding your purpose and your passion in life. As your high school journey comes to an end, I see your wheels turning. I see you start to define that person you want to be. And as your story moves on, you will continue to grow and move toward that purpose you were put here to do. And as you discover your passion, this is where you will find that extraordinary life, not a life without challenges, but a life worth living. Though you may not yet fully realize the lessons you have learned this year, I have seen these qualities in you. I know they are there. And years from now, when you are on chapter 20, 30, or even 45 of your life story, my hope is that you recognize and see these qualities in yourself. You persevere, you adapt, you hold tight to your relationships that are worth holding on to, and you continue to grow toward the person you are meant to be. Remember my parents' rule, if the sun was out, the TV was not on. I'm telling you, the sun is out. Your future is bright. Turn the distractions off and enjoy the adventure that is right in front of you, because that is your story, and I guarantee you it is one worth writing. So Northwest Class of 2021, it is time to pick up the pen. It is time to get to work. It is time to write your next chapter. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Adema. Each class picks a special song to represent their class. This year, the song that this class has chosen is Good Old Days by Macklemore and Kesha. Please take a few minutes and enjoy.
always think about the fans. Load of merch in that 12-passenger van.
Brad, wait.
In a small club in Minnesota. And they know outside the first night. I just wanted my name to start.
Rotating through.
Now look at where we at.
So passing out the diploma covers.
Just rotate. Now that I'm here, wishing I was still there. Got up the courage to ask her. Wish I would've gotten out of my shell. Wish I put the bottle back in that shelf. Wish I wouldn't have worried about what other people thought. Felt comfortable with myself. Moved up moving. And the stars are blue. The frogs are sinking out and following the money. Me, you, and that free time. We just begun. On the last street, figuring out who I was.
Somebody would've told me, babe, that Sunday things would be the good old days. All the love you forget, and all these breakfast nights you regret. 'Cause someday soon your heart's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of the good old days.
Maybe we're still young. Maybe you always look back and think it was better than it was. Maybe these are the moments. Maybe I can listen what it's about. Let's get in the future. Thinking about the past. Well, I'm missing out on now. We've come so far. I guess I'm proud. And I ain't worried about the wrinkles around my smile. I got some scars. I'm someone normal. I felt some pain. I seen some things, but I'm here now. Those good old days.
You don't know what you got till it goes, till it's gone. You don't know what you got till it goes, till it's gone. Only somebody would've told me Sunday things would be the good old days. All the love you forget, and all these reckless nights you regret. Sunday things always gonna change. You'll miss the magic of these good old days.
At this time, we're going to take a few minutes. We're going to change the mood just a little bit. So it's fun to watch you guys have fun and enjoy a couple minutes with each other. But now, we're going to listen to our alma mater. This was written by one of our former students, Mr. Logan Fruin. He has left his legacy with Northwest High School with his outstanding gift. Seniors, enjoy. Thank you, band and Mr. Mangiavellano. As the seniors walk off the stage today, they're going to be handed a carnation. This carnation is a symbol. It's for them to hand it to somebody that has impacted their education through their high school career. They are going to do this after the graduation ceremony. Superintendent Mr. Bontrager, on behalf of the faculty of Northwest High School, I certify that the students sitting before you have completed the graduation requirements of Northwest Community Schools.
On behalf of the Northwest Community Schools Board of Education, and by the power vested in me, I declare that these students are graduates of the Northwest Community Schools and may step forward to receive their diplomas.
The names of each senior are normally read by their class advisors. The advisors for the class of 2021 are Mr. Dakin Hiram and Mrs. Jordan Crockett. However, Mrs. Crockett is out on maternity leave, and filling in for her tonight is Mrs. Becky Bortnichuk. Thank you all for your support for the guidance for the class of 2021. Seniors, prepare to graduate.
Me to take the first stack.
It goes fast. Keep moving. Yeah, but yeah, figure it out. I'll help you.
You're pretty much out. So you're more than welcome to do whatever.
Yeah.
Are they both on?
Yeah, that's not ours.
I turned that one off.
Ethan Hornstra.
Keturah Marie Huste.
Marissa Faye Ralph.
Mary Catherine Crowley.
Ellery Marie Anspa.
Madeline Grace Duncan.
Olivia Klingerman.
Anthony Fitzgerald Hale.
Michael
Madison Evelyn Knightsky.
Morgan Elizabeth Knightsky.
McKenna Joanne Osterholm.
Henley Sophie Slight.
Megan Dow Swartz.
Taylor Nicole Grindle.
Ashley Elizabeth Black.
Margaret Arlene Collier.
Noah Michael Miller.
Dawson Charles White.
Daisy May Cutting.
Lee Hay Tree.
Abigail Diane Sack.
Kaylee Marie Pasco.
Crystal Lynn Lopez.
Emily Ekaterina Stewart.
Michael Douglas Naw.
Quinton James Putnam.
Dominic Robert Luwaji.
Happy birthday to Logan Jelly Scott.
Riley Nicole Trojanowitz.
And Michelle Trojanowitz.
Tyler James McCrum.
Sophia Gail Hahn.
Good job, Tyler.
Victoria May Jones.
Bryce Douglas Rogers.
Electra Elizabeth Johnson.
Johnson.
Gavin Jacob Hornbeck.
Catherine Elizabeth Bruce.
Cameron Pipko.
Alara Donata Crippen.
Addison Faye Ryan.
Desiree K. Nicole Mark.
Callie Zinnia Early George.
Nicholas Michael Ricketts.
Mara Emily Brown.
Zach Michael Wenman.
Harmony Renee Scott.
Emma Cole.
Anaya Lene Manuel.
Miera Michelle Jean Givens.
Alexis Mary Wright.
Megan Olivia Matthews.
Piper Marie Trammell.
Stephen Christopher Jaraka.
Carly Marie Bachman.
Alexandra Jaden Rahoviak.
Kaylin Ann Howell.
Mackenzie Grace Vanderpool.
Camry Janae Robinson.
Sierra Nicole Weller.
Emma Grace Cool.
Lydia Rose Morris.
Caitlin Marie Sizemore.
Esperanza Marique Babcock.
Gage Thomas Mills.
Brandon Robert Rowley.
Trey Isaac Bush.
Jared Matthew Vincent.
Sage Marie Baker.
Ariana Marie Coker.
Liberty Isabella Whitmore.
Go Ari! Alexa Lynn Marie Ball.
Caleb Austin Millette.
Ryan Robert Dawkins.
Gabriella Yakira Laura Yusuf.
Isaiah Ezekiel George Yusuf.
Aaron Robert Whitney.
James Dean.
Benjamin Ernest Reed.
Adriana Nicole Lyle.
Kiernan Stanley Danica.
Selah Joy Berry.
Quentin Thomas Dragon.
Romy O. Rodriguez.
Tyler James Fullerton.
Nicholas Aaron Riker.
Kiara Marie Hunter.
Claire Marielle Taylor.
Benjamin Scott Warner.
Grant William Souls.
Albert LaFountain.
Brent Taylor.
Angel Gomez.
Sean McTighe.
Trevor Rock Small.
Evan Scott Hutchins.
J.D. Trine.
Jaden Scott Wilkinson.
Victoria Marie Kraft.
Alexandria Joyce Hicks.
Lena Rose Cockrum.
Michaela Sue Eldred.
Jensen Sexton Mortimer.
Lucy Ann Nurka.
Kara Ann Wiggins.
Emily Ann DuBois.
Dakota Marie Wright.
Jordan Michaela Thomas.
Jaden Justin Manser.
Adam Lee Fuller.
Carter Douglas Garcia.
Joshua Reyes.
Donovan Michaels Tenney.
Roy Christopher Culver.
Connor Matthew Ron.
Devin Allen Kalis.
Noah Patrick Riley Sussex.
Bryce Allen Graham.
Kylie Elizabeth Ortwine.
Caleb Michael Solton.
Brendan Lee Rapper.
Brendan Joseph Faroe.
Ariana Kaylee Nicole Calloway.
Amaya Shamir Sutton.
Logan Lynn Heminger.
Nolan John Foster.
Madeline Nicole Towis.
Alexia Nicole Neely.
Roy and Treese Guy Jr. Anthony Marshawn Allen Jr.
Kayvon Omari Play.
Jacariel Reynolds.
Ariana Lynn Ferguson.
Emily Jo Cruz.
Keely Jada Gowdy.
Abigail Elise Davis.
Madison Ray Buck.
Andrew Chase Green.
Jacob Thomas Sky Lindsay.
Landon James Baylor.
Michael Shefferly.
Caleb Allen Wilson.
Michael Alexander Yearling.
Jasmine Marie Miller.
Isaiah Joseph Warden.
Garrett Anthony Piquel.
Brooke Elizabeth Miller.
Marcus James Starn.
Russell Dale Patton.
Gabriella Amelia Coombs.
Shayla Danae Adler.
Destiny Star Berry.
Taylor Ann Brittle.
Nathaniel Reed Marshall.
Tawny Alicia Star Hyatt.
Andrew Thomas Hall.
Grant Lee DuBois.
Clinton Regal Wallace the fifth.
Elizabeth Rose Holm.
Casey Ray Bottoms.
Noah Lamont Browning.
Liberty Ann Skurzinski.
EJ Wieland Pritchard.
Dickey Farrell Vanderpool Jr.
Bailey Ann Oosley.
Rihanna Talia Jediah Challenger.
Juan Marie Jaimez.
Peyton Nicole Brooks.
Delaney.
Caleb John Gatshaw.
Braden Allen James Metcalf.
Thomas Jurjevic.
Tyler Kenneth Linden Webb.
Michael Harold Ryan.
Shaylin June Marie Hollis.
Aaron Elizabeth Pemburn.
Kendra Louise Reasoner. Jacob Riley Hubble.
Benjamin Michael Van Borst.
Alexander Lopez.
Victoria Bustamante Mulia.
Brandon Michael Towers.
Riley Ann Mellon.
Noah Jacob Williams.
Gage Joseph Holm.
Miranda Daylin Devereaux.
Zoe Lynn Mead.
Aiden Joseph Paul Gurney.
Eric Peter Zielinski.
Daniel Arbaway.
Nolan Huey.
Emma May Hepworth.
Ashley Doreen Rumsey.
Hayden Joseph Pritchard.
Danielle Grace Uwat.
Deepak Kalash Balamarugan.
Mitchell Braden Atkins.
Jacob Michael Wenman.
Andrew Mitchell Morin.
Esther Elizabeth Culver.
Haven Celeste Burden.
And Isaac Paul Edging.
You guys are all set now. You want to
jump off the stage?
have a seat?
Oh, we're all set. Like, all right, see ya.
I present to you the Northwest High School class of 2021. Class, you may now move your tassel. Mr. Mangiavellano, one more time. We'll exit the other side. like to thank you all for coming tonight. If you could all remain in your seats until the seniors have left the field, they will meet their family and friends on the soccer field behind you for congratulations and hugs. Have a great night. Seniors, stay in your rows. That is not what we practiced. And you only have your diploma cover.
Huh? Okay, thank you. Yeah, no problem.